APIAVote for a long time, and she is a true friend of very many citizens of our great nation. She is Ms. Gloria Kauile. She's a very, very active member. She could hear her voice throughout any API gathering, especially politically and labor alliance-wise. She's a really, really good friend who tries to forge bonds and alliances between all sorts of people. I'd like to introduce to you my dear friend, Gloria Kauile.
Thank you, Tamlin. There is no denying this program is because Tamlin rocks. Come on, give her a big hand. You know, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that Patty, Peter, and company gave you the best show in this town. Give them a big hand. You know, I'm Gloria Kauile, and I am a very proud member of APIAVote. More than 10 years ago, a small group of folks came together with an idea, a small idea to bring together a community to engage in the democratic process. All of our work has led us to this historic town hall. But more important, thank you all. Thank you for being here to make it happen for us. Thank you. You know, we will hear from Senator Hilary Rodham Clinton first. All right, it's okay. You know, right now she is campaigning in Kentucky and will be joining us by live satellite. You know, the people who are seated here, but they're really standing in the back, asked of the questions of the senator. And at the end of, you have to listen closely to the senator's speech and remarks, because she has incorporated answers to the questions that we posed to her. So, ladies and gentlemen, here to introduce Senator Hilary Rodham Clinton is California's highest-ranking Asian American statewide Democratic elected official, State Controller John Chiang.
Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be with you. This is an extraordinary gathering in the democracy of the United States of America. Today we are 14 million proud out of 300 million. And as we well understand, America's always had great promise. And rested in the middle of that promise is the dreams and aspirations, opportunities of all Americans. And certainly this gathering and the political impact and the contributions, more importantly, that the Asian Pacific American community can make to our overall American family is just extraordinary and spectacular. Now, I've chosen to make a very important decision, as all of you will this year, as to who we elect to be the leader of our great nation, and to have somebody elevate him or herself to help lead our global economy, and our world, and our people. And I've chosen Hillary Clinton. Now, to give you a personal perspective, my parents were part of that first wave of Asian Americans who came to this country in the 1950s after a lot of the regulations and the discriminatory laws were starting to be removed. And my parents, like so many of those in this room, gave up absolutely everything. They gave up their family, they gave up their comforts, they left their culture behind, they left a lot of their resources. And when my parents came to this country, my dad, with 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, trying to learn his 5th language, English, to work multiple jobs to get his PhD in chemical engineering, he did so because he understood that America provided extraordinary opportunities to those who worked hard, who played fair, and who would do the right thing. And we need a new president, frankly, who recognizes those struggles, those hardships, and we want to create a society that will not just provide the same, but provide more in terms of the freedoms, in terms of the equal opportunities that have been granted past generations of Americans, but more importantly will be granted to those who continue to come to this country today and in the future. And it is absolutely clear the characteristics and traits that are needed to provide for that leadership. Somebody who is intellectually capable, those who recognize that we have a beautiful civic democracy, those that recognize that public governance is one that requires the entire American family to participate, and somebody who has the core courage and strength to fight for those who don't have the loudest voice on a daily basis. And if you look at the record, Hilary Rodham Clinton has fought for those who have truly been vulnerable here in America. She's exercised the core courage and the competence to fight for those who have fought behind. She has the powerful vision to understand where America, and more importantly, the entire world needs to go. And so if you talk to her, if you watch this campaign, you watch the candidate of substance, the one who talks about an energy and environmental policy that will save our global humanity, that will save those today who struggle. Here in California, the average single person made median income was $33,000, multiple household was $66,000, food prices appreciating throughout the United States and through this world, creating global conflict. And so she was the one with the smart energy and environmental policy, recognizing that we need to protect this earth, we need to create the next generation of good, clean jobs, the next generation of high-paying jobs, and that we don't have global climatic disruptions that jeopardizes 2 billion people in Asia, that creates devastation in the Amazon, that creates the continued wildfires that we experienced here last year in California, in Malibu, and San Diego. This is the Hillary Clinton that will change the world, bringing all of us forward and blessed with her extraordinary and compelling vision and work. And we understand the great historic struggles that have impacted our community. We just listened to an extraordinary leader here, Norm Mineta, a child of internment who led the fight for reparations to give dignity and decency and justice to so many people who fought for this country, who lived free and were, to the very core, great Americans. And we have another great leader, the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee sitting here in the front row, somebody who is also intern, Mike Honda. And they understand the struggles of our community. Please give him a loud round of applause. And frankly, you ought to say hi to both of them. When we have people who are historic figures in our presence and are blessed by their talent and grace, we ought to acknowledge the conscientious work that they've done for all of us. But in the middle of this campaign, we need people to put all of us before their own personal interests. And we had a critical vote in the past few months. As we all well know, the Filipino veterans served in fighting for the people and the freedom of this nation. And they have long suffered the ignominy of the lack of respect for their work in fighting for the freedom across this great globe. Hillary Clinton was the only candidate who went back, cast an important vote, saying we need to give them their freedom, their respect, and justice, because that's fundamentally what America is about, providing justice, who have fought for our greatest promise, our dreams, and our common pathways. And so we understand that, and Hillary Clinton also wants to make sure we understand what's the impact of 46 million Americans today who do not have access to health care, home mortgage crisis, economic struggles, lack of health care. I was trying to stall out my time until Hilary was linked up. There. Now she's linked up. Thanks, Tamlin. So now I can close. But we have in Hillary Rodham Clinton somebody who has comprehensive policies to make sure that the core American family can live their fullest aspirations and promise. So it is my great honor to introduce the next President of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.